So today we're going to talk about why agency sucks. My name is Bishal. I've done over $20 million in revenue for myself, and I used to have agency myself, and I quit my agency, okay, to do something else. And I will tell you what I did, but there's a reason why I quit the agency, and it was a good agency, but there were a lot of problems. Let me tell you why agency sucks. I started in business back in 2017, 2018, right before COVID actually. So I started as a Facebook ads media bar, okay? So I ran ads for other companies. I had an agency where I used to take clients, all right? I used to take clients and I would run their ads. It was fun until it was not fun, okay? Because I was young and I was charging clients $2,000, $5,000, $7,000, right? And that was a lot of money for me because nobody I knew made $7,000 a month. And I had multiple clients. I was doing fantastic, but I was burnt out and not happy. I was happy in the first year, but soon I realized I was stuck. I had to keep doing it. It felt like a job. My agency was making about $50,000 a month. I decided to stop taking clients and close the agency to do something else. I launched my own brand. We were doing many different things and I had my own products, and the product is fantastic because product you can build once, you can sell forever. For example, jacket, right? You can build a hoodie once and sell that forever. You can build glasses once, sell that forever. Same with the mic. Build a product once, sell that forever without taking more time of yours. So that's what I shifted from agency work to product. But here are the reasons why I decided to stop my agency and focus into product. Number one is one-on-one clients, okay? When you have agency, you're working with people, you're working with client, which means you have to hop on a call. They have expectation. You have to hit the KPI. You have to get the results, right? They're paying you something to do something, $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 a month to do something, and they're expecting results. More likely, more customer, more sales, more lead, something like that. And the problem is that people are emotional. Their emotion changes. They wake up one day excited, but they wake up the other day not excited at all. They're not motivated, not interested. I want to do things. And I noticed that with my client is that I would get them results, but they would still not be happy because they had this big dream of $100 million or getting to $1 billion that they would not appreciate that we were making them $1 million a month. Okay, they were making $1 million a month, but they were not grateful because they wanted $100 million. That affects me, right? That affects my team, my client, because they're acting rudely. They're not treating my team properly, and my team is complaining, working with the client. They set out to do X, Y, Z. A, B, C, D. Things change in business all the time, which is understandable, but it changes based on mood of the clients. You have a plan, this is what you're gonna do, but all of a sudden the client is, no, we wanna do this. And you've been working on that for the past 3 weeks and you just stop and do something else, which basically means you just wasted the last 3 weeks and you're not gonna use that thing that you worked on for the last 3 weeks. So that happened quite often. Like I felt like my time was not as valuable. It was valuable in the sense that I was getting paid, but it was not providing as much value. I could do more. The other thing is that I was looking at this business owner, how messy they were, mistakes they were making, how often they will change their track. I felt like I could actually build a business myself. And that's why I got into a product business compared to an agency business. Working with a client is a hassle. If you know what I'm talking about, because it is a hassle, all right? So the second point is that do the work yourself in the business. What do I mean by do the work yourself? If you have an agency, you're transitioning from becoming a freelancer, taking one-on-one client, to now having an agency, having a team, basically having employees. What happens is you're always stuck in the business. If you started as, let's say, copywriter or designer, you are the expert who did the thing. Even if you hire employees, they're not as good as you. You're always helping them, telling clients what to expect. You're always going to be in the business. Even if you're out of the fulfillment, you're always going to be the one getting the clients. You're always going to be like trying to network. You're always going to be doing the sales, right? There's going to be an aspect of the business that you just cannot let go, okay? Because you are the founder. Unless you build a brand, it is just not going to work, okay? Unless you build a brand, you're going to be stuck in the business. And that's what I felt like, is that I had this company doing $50K a month. I had employees, I had expenses, right? But I was the one doing the marketing. I was the one hopping on a call, and I was the one hiring the team member, and I was the one telling them what to do. It was just a lot of work. Like it was just a lot, basically. And if I wasn't there, then the things will break. If I wasn't there, then there is no client next month. It is so volatile, very stressing, to be honest. You have employees, you have team members, right? You have 20K, 30K a month of salary that you have to pay your team member, and they're expecting you to do that, right? You just cannot fire your team member next month and hire them the other month. You want a stable, solid business. And if you're always stuck in the business, you just cannot do it. So that was the reason I quit my agency. It sucks. The point number 3 is employees make mistakes. Agency is a people business, right? It's not AI, it's not automation, it's not code. It is people. It is human doing work with their hands. Even if it is using a computer, they're still doing work with their hands. People make mistakes. People get sick. There is miscommunication. When there's a mistake, clients are mad, right? They're not happy. They're asking you for refund. They're saying, oh, why did you make a mistake? I told you about it. I was tired of that. I was hiring people, paying them a lot, and they make mistakes. It is understandable. People make mistakes, but it is a problem. Clients are going to be pissed. They're not going to understand. It is their business and they're paying you. You are the professional, right? The client expects you to get things right because they hired you, the expert. If you make mistakes, they're not going to be happy. They're going to be like, hey, if you are going to make mistakes, then I can make the mistakes myself. Like, I don't need to pay $10,000 to make mistakes. So that happens, and you're going to have some refunds. You're going to have some clients that are not happy, and it's a hassle. The best thing is to have a SaaS, a product. If you're building a hoodie, a microphone, it doesn't make mistakes. Once you build a product, it works. You don't have to fix it all the time. It doesn't matter if your employee wake up on the wrong side of their bed, right? Even if your employees are sick, the mic is still going to work. The code is still going to work, right? The hoodie is still going to work. That's the thing that you want to switch to. You want to switch from people business to scalable business, like code, like product, e-commerce, or whatever you want to go into. You need to shift to product-focused business, not a service-focused business, all right? So the next reason why agency sucks is a pay. If you are in an agency business, you are in a price shopping business. Agency is a service, meaning anybody can do it and they have a lot of options. If you hire somebody to write your copy, you have hundreds of people who can write copy. At that point, the only thing that separates them is the price. Because, hey, the person's going to say, I can write the copy. I've been doing it for 10 years. The other person's going to say, I've been doing it for 5 years. The other person's going to say, I've been doing it for 20 years. I have more experience, less experience. It's all the same. At the end, it boils down to how much you charge. I noticed it. I would hop on a call with clients and they're like, oh, this person has so-and-so experience and they charge $5,000. Why are you charging me $7,000? Why are you so expensive? That is a sales question. You can say, hey, because I can get you the results, but you cannot guarantee the results, right? There is no guarantee. We can do our best, but there is no guarantee, right? So it becomes a competition. It becomes basically hard to keep up with your margin, right? You're not getting paid as much and you feel like you're not being valued as much because you're getting paid the same, because you're doing the same thing as everybody, right? When you do the same thing as everybody, your value becomes less, right? Even though it is a high value stuff, clients are still going to compare you with other people who do the same thing, all right? So that's a problem. If you have less pay, meaning you cannot hire a top talents, right? And if you cannot hire a top talents, that means you have to do the work. And if you have to do the work, then you're getting paid for less hours. Basically, you're getting paid less per hour. It's a doom cycle, the churn and burn thing, right? There have been many agencies over the year. There used to be SEO agency. There used to be a Facebook ad agency. There is now AI agencies, right? Agencies keep evolving. They just have to evolve as whatever services people need, right? So it is really because there is a very high competition and agency want something unique to sell. So they keep changing the thing they sell and it keeps changing basically. So that's the other reason why I don't like agencies, because you are competing with price with other agencies. The next reason I don't like agency is low margin. You're hiring people, which means they cost a lot of money, okay? You have to pay them $5,000 to $10,000 per month to do the job. Plus it costs to hire them. It costs to train them, right? Hiring an employee is a lot of work. So when you have people make mistakes, you're just not going to have that much margin. There is no billion-dollar company. If you look at the top 10, top 20, top 100 billion-dollar companies, none of them is agency. There is very few agencies as the top billion-dollar companies. Most of the top billion-dollar companies are SaaS, software as a service. You can write code once and you can sell it forever, right? That's how Netflix makes billions of dollars. That's how Amazon makes billions of dollars, because they built the software once and it keeps making them money again and again. That's what you need. You need a foundation. You need a thing that is going to keep working for you regardless. The thing with the agency is that it's the people and you have to pay them a lot. They make mistakes and they can leave, which means like tomorrow your whole business is gone. It's not a good feeling. People get sick, get old, get tired, get bored, get stressed. They have anxiety. If people are the thing that are doing the work, then you're naturally going to have less margin, right? Because you have to keep paying them code you build once and it keeps paying you month after month for work you did years ago. You will see a pattern that most big business have a 90 plus, 95 plus margin, right? That's why Coca-Cola can be $1 billion business, because each bottle costs them pennies to make, but they sell it for $3, $4, $5. That is a lot of margin. Agencies just don't have that margin. Agency is one of the lowest margin business, and it is the hardest business because again, you're competing with price, employees make mistake, you have to be in the business, and your clients demand a lot. Those are the reasons why I think agencies suck. And there are other better businesses out there. I gave you examples of some of them already. But if you are in the business and you are looking to build something better, something long-term, then I recommend focusing on a product-focused business, building a brand. That's the way to go. And that's what I am doing myself. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you on the next video.